where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Wow, it's Traffic Jam with Kareem.
Thursday at 4 p.m.
Hey, Traffic Jam. Rainier Avenue Radio. Download the app so you don't miss out what's popping on Crack with Shiny. It's your boy, Cream the Dream, on another beautiful week on here on Traffic Jam in Seattle. I hope you guys doing what you're supposed to be, being you're supposed to be. I got a good show for y'all. Lots to talk about. You know, Kareem the Dream, keep up with everything.
Get your entertainment news with Kareem on the Traffic Jam Thursday at 4 p.m.
Are your kids eligible for or enrolled in Apple Health Medicaid insurance? Bring them to a free dental clinic in Skyway this fall. Public Health Seattle and King County is hosting free dental clinics for kids 12 and under at the Skyway Resource Center, one Saturday per month, now until December. Visit kingcounty.gov/ABCD for more information. Again, that's kingcounty.gov/ABCD for free dental clinics for kids.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you ready for this?
this is Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the station that cares about our community.
Hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell. I am not live from Jamaica. We did not update that, but I am live and I'm talking about what we can do as a community to support not only Jamaica, but I'm supporting a few organizations. There's some work that's happening with Adafua. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. They're literally building an African Cultural Arts Center, and I have to admit that there's, my heart is pouring out to people who realize that they can leave a legacy. And Afua Kuyate has a 40-year legacy in this community, showing up for us. Right. And so everything I do is about legacy, and I can't stress enough how important this is. So I'm going to have my partner in crime, my awesome producer, please go and find the link. I'm actually working on 5 different things. One of them is this thing that had just happened in Jamaica. Right. I was physically there for a reason. I know it. Like we could have, things happen exactly the way they were meant to happen. I feel like, we get to show up extraordinarily well. And so today's show is going to be about a few things, right? It's going to be about, sorry, looks like I was still on Zoom. Weird. Hopefully you can hear me in case you didn't hear me before. But what I'm super excited about is this today's conversation is really going to be building on what I have been talking about the entire year. But it's also, this has to be about how we show up differently, how we show up better. I feel like I need to turn some more light on. I'll do that during the break. But what I do want to do is I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So this better together and living powerfully, those 2 words mean a lot, right? It's so much better when we do anything together that's good, right? If you're doing it together, it's just better, right? It's more fun. You're 500% more likely to complete any task when you do it in community, right? That's why most universities have cohorts. So the better together concept is really important. So when you think about, even giving, right, showing up, when bad things happen, boy, it's better when, if you're around the right people, it's better when you do it together, right? People that are truly motivated to get to the next level. So living powerfully is about the next level for you. It's whatever that means. So we've been talking about thriving through the storms of life. And I want to bring up 3 G's for today's show. And this is what we're going to be talking about throughout November, this concept of gratitude, grace, and giving back. When something goes down, when you're in the middle of a storm, literally in the middle of a storm that takes lives, right? And you can't leave, right? In Florida, when a hurricane is coming, we have the option of driving north, typically, to get out of the hurricane's way. When you're on an island like Jamaica, like we were just a few weeks ago, and the airports are down, you're like, okay, let's do this, right? You're like, it's on. So, my heart is just so open to the treatment that we got while we were there. I'm grateful to God for protecting us. Like there were no deaths in the small community that we were in. There were deaths around the country for sure. Could have been a lot more. People will continue to die, and I'm praying every day for that. But I have an open heart of thanksgiving, right? So I'm welcoming you to this show, but you already know who I am. And so when things happen in my life and people are like, oh, I'm so glad you were showing up, I don't have a choice but to show up. That's part of who God put. He put that in me. So I don't really have a choice. When I say I'm living a surrendered life, living powerfully to me is living a surrendered life. People are like, oh, we're going to be doing this other thing. I don't know what you're going to be doing. I'm happy to help you over here doing your thing. But when God puts something in my heart for me to do, I don't wait. I don't hesitate. I'm all in and all over it. That includes the people that I support. So I am an entrepreneur. I'm actually supporting this group called New Beginnings. Oh my goodness, not my church. My church is called New Beginnings, but it's another organization. And others like I'm actually able to support people that are doing amazing work in community, and that's really where my heart is, right? So I'm talking about a couple of things. I'm gonna lean into the work specifically right now around, these 3 words: gratitude, grace, and giving back. So again, when life takes us through a storm, Thanksgiving, it's upon us. We have the opportunity. For me, it has special meaning since Thanksgiving, we're in November 10th, and Thanksgiving is the holiday, it's coming. But for me, it's like, this personal reflection, returning home home. And my home is, I'm a digital nomad, which is very exciting. So I'm in this amazing place. Amazing. Like I don't think I know how to live regular anymore. Like I'm in this extraordinary, this 5-acre property. It's so big that it has a Redmond address and a Woodinville address. So I'm like grateful there, like God, I've spent so much time giving to people for like gifting my talents in many ways. And I realize, you're blessed to be a blessing. And I have no problem with that. So when I reflect on what God tells me to do, I don't really care what you're telling me to do. If he's telling me to do something else, I'm going to do what he tells me to do. Like someone wanted me to, I was fundraising for a group and they wanted me to just fundraise 100%. I'm like, that is not what God told me you needed. And you need some capacity building. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to do what he told me to do because I need to, he's the only one that really matters in my life is that reflection of, doing when you get those voices, when you're told how you should show up in community, show up for that one, right? You can't follow everybody's lead because you got crazy people that are going to be doing whatever they're going to do. And I can't be held accountable for that. I couldn't be held accountable for this storm that happened, right? Even though like, this is the truth, my truth. I kind of got choked up. I wasn't afraid I was going to die at all. Right. I probably should have been, but I wasn't. But there was a moment where I was, and I know what hurricanes can do. I know what they can do. And I saw the impact just where we were. And the building was solid. And I know these homes and, I've seen the shacks. I lived in Mexico City and I lived in Rio, Brazil. I've been in the waterfront view hotel with the shacks built up the side of the mountain, right? That disparity of you haves and the have-nots. I'm blessed that I've been in the have category, whether I've had a whole lot of money or not. I've been in the category where I can live like I do. And I have to admit, there's some energy that comes with that because, like at some point when we lost water and lost power and all the things, they had enough bottled water that we could literally take showers with bottled water. And there were people who couldn't drink water. So I don't, I'm not, it hasn't passed me by that we were blessed. And then I had some people say, you know what, grace, favor ain't fair. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's true. Favor isn't fair. Right. And by that, we mean, you will be blessed sometimes in ways that you don't deserve. So I don't think I deserve to be in that space, right? To be protected per se, but I was. And because of that, I have gratitude. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like there's a little oddness where it comes to, when it comes to this space, it's like this survivor's remorse. They had it on TV a little bit. Like I'm not, my personal reflection, there was no fear really that I was going to be harmed. I expect miracles to happen every day in my life. And that's really the kind of life I lead. When you live a surrendered life and you're living powerfully, I expect miracles to happen, right? But I actually watched it and I was still in awe, like how people help one another, how in that space you could have chosen to act up because things were not ideal. No one did. Right. I stayed calm. The people around me stayed calm. People were connecting, committed to showing up in excellence. That was my group. Right. And then anyone we were around, some ladies talked about going different places. And if somebody said something negative, they were right there with the positive, some positive zings to be like, not on my watch, not in my space. I think that's what we have to do. We have to kind of learn to live powerfully and just remember that we, how we show up matters and how those people around us show up matters too. You really do have to be careful who you hang out with because their energy will pass on to you. And there's some people who have this energy that's like not transparent. And there's all this, hidden, this person don't know this and this person. It's like, I'm going to be transparent because I can't keep track of the lies, if that makes sense, right? So I say that to say my level of gratitude is off the charts. Okay. So this is how we're going to show up differently. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for the safety I have. I'm grateful for the community that I was part of and the community that we're part of right here, right? The people who rallied together when everything else fell apart, when we knew lives were being lost. the Hyatt employees that took such good care of us, even when they didn't know where their families were. I mean, that to me, it's just, I can't, I'm changed forever by that energy, that grace. That's what we received when they were suffering. I have some videos that I haven't even shared yet. I want to make sure people feel comfortable in the aftermath, and I'm connecting with the GM, the general manager of the hotel that we stayed at. He's already like, I'm in, let's do it. So we got a whole bunch of things we're doing to help people give to those who lost everything. House wiped off of the map, roof off, right? Mudslide, water slide, like some communities were completely devastated. So I'm in. So when I say these 3 G's, this concept of gratitude, grace, and giving back, that's what this show is about. Okay. So gratitude for my life, gratitude for safety, gratitude for community, gratitude for being in a position to help other people without hesitation. Let me just say that again. Being in a position to help other people without hesitation. Hold please. I do have the light right here, which there's no reason. Oops, I just broke. Okay, well, I had a light and just broke the lamp. Okay, I tried. My producer's like, more light. Sorry, I'll figure that out during the break. So here's the message of the day. Okay, so we talked about this idea of, so sometimes the storm isn't just outside, right? It's inside of us, right? But storms reveal what's solid. It reveals what's inside, right? It reveals our character. It reveals our faith. It reveals our purpose. Part of my purpose is to help other people to live their best life. If that means I have some stuff that I can offer to you because you don't have anything, and I can rally my community, because we all have too much stuff, period. In the U.S., we have too much stuff. Now we can say there's a pipeline. The Hyatt general manager of Lake Washington Hyatt, I forgot his name, but I do have it in my phone. I'm going to look it up before we get off this call. Super amazing dude. We've already been connected. He said, oh, yeah, totally. He's like, we got you. He said, we did something similar for the employees and communities in Hawaii. And I was like, oh, awesome. And the general manager his name was Adrian Whitehead. I think I've said his name wrong a few times. So let me retroactively correct. I think I called him Whitehand. It's Whitehead. Adrian Whitehead is the general manager in Montego Bay, Jamaica, at the Hyatt Zolara and Hyatt Ziva. Same resort, used to be Ritz-Carlton. It's now Hyatt. And they bring in this, they call it service with heart, and you feel it, like you feel the love. And that's what really moved me. That's the grace. So if I define grace, it means different things to different people. For me, and if you're not spiritual, it's okay. It's this concept of, couple ways, right? It's this divine strength that carries you when your own strength runs out. If that makes sense. And I feel like because the leader, Adrian, this general manager of this hotel, of this resort space, he's been in Jamaica for 18 years. White dude from the UK. Hey, baby, you okay? You okay, sweetie? Okay. And he offered grace to his team. He offered grace to each of us. We couldn't be nervous because he was like, one of my questions in our first meeting was, do you guys have a generator? He's like, we have a generator enough to power a small village. I'm like, great. And then I was also asking him afterwards, like, how are you supporting the community? And he gave me 10 different ways. In the moment, in the thing, they were, they were killing it. Right? You okay, baby cakes? So grace is the divine strength that carries you when your own strength runs out. So a lot of times people talk about divine grace. Oh my goodness, look at my little sweetie. It's undeserved favor. In the storm, I mentioned that we're literally taking showers with water. It's one of the guys. That was a bad hand motion. He stabbed the top of a bottle of water and like put holes in it. And so, you could like squeeze, he called it a military shower, where you're like squeezing water out of a bottle through the holes in the cap. thank you for that. Like that was a blessing. It was several days with no water. And some people had no water to drink. We did not have that as a problem. This was an all-inclusive resort. There was food galore. So again, that was grace as well. We didn't deserve that, but I'm grateful for it, right? And because I had it, and because the people there, you can get divine grace from people, but you can also offer grace to another person, right? It's not perfection. It's not, it's permission. Right? It's a reminder that you can begin again, rise again, love again, even after the storm, right? So it's spiritual grace is unearned love of God, freely given, never revoked, never really earned, right? But grace practically, meaning how we can each offer grace to each other, is how we extend that same compassion. Sometimes you have to extend it to yourself. So I did have to do some prayer and meditation and offer myself some grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad nothing happened. This whole showering with water, that people didn't have water to drink, Yeah, I felt some kind of way about that. All right. But it's choosing, not to judge myself, not to judge the situation. I was grateful, and I better show up for them same people, right? I mean, obviously, everyone everyone who was working there had unlimited supplies, like we did as well. Not unlimited, but they had basics covered. So, what I'm excited to say is that they offered us grace, right? Grace shows up when you either forgive someone who didn't apologize, forgive someone who did you wrong, that's grace too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do that all the time. I do it all the time, right? Because God does it to me. Some people who have harmed me, physically, mentally. I'm like, you know what? You're doing the best you can. God bless you. And move on. And that is so freeing. Don't let nobody fool you. It's freeing because now you're leveling up, right? You smile when life gives you every reason not to. That's grace too. You're in the middle of a hurricane. We were like, look, God, got our backs. Faith shows up. You level up. So when you smile and you don't really have a reason to smile, but you just chose to choose joy, that's offering yourself grace. When someone says something, and try this. The next time someone says something, I can do it even more. Especially when people who you care about give you a little snip and you're like, wait a minute, we're on the same team here. Hey. Right? Smile and say something positive. Say, I adore you. And I know you didn't mean to snap at me. With your pretty self. You know what I'm saying? Throw that in there with your handsome self, with your pretty eyes. You throw something in there and then they'll smile, you'll smile, and you keep it moving. Right? That's how you can in the middle of a storm, it could be a human storm, right? You just shut it down. So you give thanks, not because everything is perfect, but because you still can see the purpose of that person or yourself, right? Grace doesn't mean weakness. It means being anchored in strength. It's the power to be kind in a world that tests your kindness. Let me say that again. To be kind when the world is testing your kindness. It's the power to be happy when the world is testing your joy. But joy is within. It's like, hey, that's a superpower. That's living powerfully right there. If I didn't define it clearly, I like to say it's a Jedi superpower. The storm is circling around you and you're like, I'm good because God's got me. I expect the universe to work out, for this to work out for my good. That's how I show up. That's living powerfully. So it's the ability to stand in the storm and still reflect the light. You're not running around, right? Grace is not something you achieve. It's something that you allow because it's within us. Sometimes we don't necessarily, baby cakes, cutie pooties. Yes. So again, grace is not something. Hold, please. I'm going to ask Ken to deal with my little poochie loochies. Give me some music. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Come here, cutie pie. Come here. Come here, baby cakes. I called someone else to come get them, but I'm literally in a house with 2 zip codes. I swear to God, 2 zip codes. There's a Redmond and a Whip. So I'm like, hey, come get them. He didn't hear me. So I had to call the baby over to say, it's okay, sweetie. Okay. I'm back. Let me get back to business. Grace, I'm offering you Grace. Come here, Pooch. Come here. Come here. Come here. Harley, stay with me so I can love you up. You only bark when you're not feeling the love. So again, I'm gonna keep moving. So let me go back to what I was talking about before I start going deep dive on Grace. What I was saying is the 3 G's we're talking about today. Come here, baby. Come on, up. Gratitude, grace, and giving. Right. Even when life doesn't make you want to smile, you smile anyway. That's grace, right? Gratitude is another G, right? It's not what we do after we've received what we think we've lost or after what we think we've asked for. Gratitude is reflecting on the contrast between abundance and loss. And that was that space that I was in. I'm like, this is a lot. People have lost everything, and I'm over here taking a shower with bottled water. Really? People lost homes, they lost cars, they lost everything. And they sang and prayed, they shared food, they're making soup on the side of the road. They're like, I got you. One love. That's gratitude. Right? When you see that kind of resilience, you can't help but want to give more. You can't help but want to.
Of course she is.
Okay. I think the baby just sat on the remote.
Good choice. Okay. Now,
Sorry about that.
Remember,
hey, anyway, I'm going to keep moving. There's sound in the background. I'm doing my best to silence it, but I'll keep moving.
Right?
Okay. Ooh, okay. So back to, again, the 3 G's, grace, gratitude, and giving. Gratitude, again, you got to, gratitude at its best. Stay with me, baby cakes. Come here, sweetie booty. Gratitude is, again, it's the contrast between abundance and loss. Gratitude shifts our energy from scarcity to abundance, right? That energy of gratitude says, I got this. Oops, it looks like it's, let me get to this last little point and then I'll go to the break. Gratitude invites joy even in pain, even when you're not feeling like it, because you have a gratitude in your heart that invites joy in. Even when you're feeling pain, like I said, the grace concept, even when you're not supposed to be smiling, you smile. Last point, gratitude activates purpose. It asks, what can I do now? That's how grateful I am. So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the giving side, but gratitude does not deny what's broken. It doesn't say, oh, Lordy, right? Everything is great. No, it just insists that we look for what is still beautiful and we use that. Hello? Do you love this? Stay with me, y'all. We got to take a quick break and we'll come back. We're talking about grace, gratitude, and giving. More to come. Thanks.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not driving my sweet AMC Pacer through the car wash, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. You missed a spot.
Love food? Here's some storage tips to keep it fresh longer. Store cut fruits and vegetables in the fridge. Place in reusable containers. Keep bread in the freezer for longer storage. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil-Am Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in Phil-Am Radio every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit kingcounty.gov.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
Get ready. TNT Supermarket, your Asian food destination, is opening Thursday, November 13th at the Linwood Crossroads Shopping Center. Doors open at 9 a.m. Arrive early. The first 300 customers will receive a free $10 TNT gift card plus more exciting opening offers. From now until November 12th, TNT U.S. members can enter via the TNT app for a chance to win 2 round-trip tickets to Asia with China Airlines. Visit the TNT U.S. website for details. TNT Supermarket opens November 13th, 9 a.m. at the Linwood Crossroads Shopping Center. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the station that cares about our community.
Hey, y'all, got a little bit more light. Not much, but a little bit more. So could not be more excited today to be talking about the 3 G's, right? Grace, gratitude, and giving. So one of the organizations that I have been supporting in community is Adafua. Adafua, and I was just talking about the hurricane. I'm talking about grace and giving, but this is a group that has been doing this from a legacy building perspective for 40 years. 40 years. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about what's happening this weekend with what they call the Odunde Festival 2025. They're gearing up for a major 40-year legacy celebration of African culture in the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be at Langston Hughes. Super excited about that. There's 3 days worth of activities. The big day is the Legacy Gala and the dinner event, which starts at 5 p.m. They're doing a fundraiser. I'm actually a table captain. So if you give, say you heard it from Traci and social, I need at least 7 people to donate $200. I don't normally ask for money, but this is a cause that I'm very, very, very supportive of. So again, you can buy a ticket for $200 or you can just donate what you can, but say it's for Traci Harrell. It's part of my table captain duties to talk about this. And I don't talk about anybody. Y'all already know. Like I don't talk about groups that I don't believe in. I know for a fact that for 40 years, Afua Kuyate has been building legacy and community. So again, this weekend on Friday, November 14th, there's going to be an artist mixer for Friends of Adafua. That's going to be at Langston Hughes. You can go to her website as well. You spell Adafua, Adefua. And then on Saturday is the Legacy Gala dinner event that begins at 5. I can tell you, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the other details about because I know she's supposed to be launching a movie, a film that's called The Legacy of Adafua. So Adafua focuses on preserving and sharing West African cultural arts, music and dance, and heritage through both youth and family-focused programming. They're establishing a dedicated facility called the African Cultural Arts Center, ACAC, in Seattle, Rainier Valley. They're going to become the hub for cultural preservation, community development, and arts education. So their upcoming event, which is the annual Odunde Festival in November, like I said, this weekend, includes a gala on November 15th and a marketplace on the next day, and then some workshops on the 16th. So if you look at their websites, if you look at their website, they also again, they're all about legacy. So I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before, but I really ask that you all, take a moment. Their website, the main website is adefuacenter.org. If you could put that up there on the screen for me, it's ADEFUA Center, CENTER.org. And again, they have this entire 2025 festival program. Again, on Friday, there's one part of it. On Saturday, there is the actual main gala and the movie launch. So Friday is the artist mixer, Saturday is the legacy gala, and then Sunday there's a marketplace and workshops from 12 to 6. At 5 o'clock is when the dinner starts on Saturday, November 15th. Again, it's all at Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of this organization. And the reason I had to kind of insert that before I go back to Jamaica is because you gotta support the organizations in your backyard too. Right. And I've donated extensive time. Like I said, there was work that I wanted to do to help them with capacity building. I've done help with them with some fundraising as well. But capacity building is when you ensure that you're not building a building on sand, literally. Like, it's about those operational elements that are so important. So that was really important to me. And I felt like God definitely said, this is an organization you should support. So I did that work. I did it, to the best of my abilities, and feel very, very, very good about the work I was able to do to offer, right? And so, we will continue to support them any way that we can. I think you guys know I went to Africa with Afua, and her president of her board is Harrell. And she was my partner in crime when we did some extra little stuff outside of the group. And we went to some 5-star resorts and on the beach. And so we kind of had to level up. And it's because I had to do a presentation for the legislature for Adafua. So I've been pitching and supporting this organization with my heart and with my brain and with the stuff that I know we can do to really help them be successful. So I invite you to do the same. This is not just some fly-by-night organization that I don't know anything about. I know about these people. They're doing some good work. And I invite you guys to be a part of that. Okay. I think you put that in there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before, because I really wanted to get through my 3 Gs, and we already talked about the concept of grace, gratitude, and giving. So gratitude, as I mentioned, I think this is important. I want to really go back to this. Gratitude activates purpose, right? It asks, what can I do now? If it shifts your energy, that's really important, right? If you're feeling some energy that says, woe is me, this bad thing happened, even though that bad thing is true, right? Even though it's true, that's not what we want. Sorry, I just put something in here that I should not have. But that's not what we want you to. It's like the bad thing can be true. That's what we said. Gratitude does not deny what's broken. It just insists that we look for what's still beautiful. We got to look for what we can be grateful for. So when people talk about having a gratitude journal, even when your roof blows off, well, nobody died today. That's what I saw in these resilient people in Jamaica, was this idea of they were grateful for, literally grateful in their eyes. You could see that they weren't just saying the words. They were grateful that. Then they saw people whose houses were destroyed and roofs were off. They still could find the gratitude, and they could find the love for us. They offered us grace. So when I say I felt it, and you can't, in your life, you're forever changed. When someone offers you true grace, and it ain't divine grace, it's a human being. It's like, hey, I really, want you to be successful. I'm here for you, despite your faults. You know what I mean? Like, grace is not saying you're wonderful. It's saying, hey, you, despite what you just did to me, I'm gonna offer you some grace. You don't have to say the words. You just do it, and God is watching, and it all balances out in the end, right? So I'll move up. Grace, gratitude, and then the other G, right? This greatness of service, right? You think about Dr. Martin Luther King. This is one of my favorite quotes. Everyone can be great because everyone can serve. Everybody can serve is his exact quote. You know, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I mean, that's deep. Life's most persistent. That means ongoing. Urgent means right now. That's the question. That's the question of life. What are you doing for others? And I honestly wake up. I over-index. I'm a Libra. So I try to seek balance. I have over-indexed on the what can I do for others side, but I love it. I'm grateful, and I'm working the balance. So right now, as we begin to celebrate Thanksgiving time, I'm reminded that truly living powerfully means using what we have to bless someone else. There's quotes that we talk about being blessed to be a blessing. If you're blessed, right, you're blessed to be a blessing. What I saw firsthand in Jamaica in the middle of this Category 5 hurricane, they literally said it was the most powerful hurricane ever recorded. Like the gusts that happened since they've been recording hurricanes. That's why it's such a big deal, right? So I want you guys to understand, lives have been destroyed. People still found ways to serve in the storm. As we were flooding, we were in each other's rooms, sharing stuff. I was so proud of us, sharing resources. Yeah. It was beautiful. It really was. It was a beautiful to behold and beautiful to be a part of. Because again, it's when the storm happens that you decide, hey, am I leaving? Am I staying? Am I helping? Am I going to hoard all the stuff for myself? Right? The heart of greatness shows up when it's the hardest. And these people who lost everything were serving us, showed up at work. This lady, I literally have a great video. It's on my Facebook, but she says, I cried all night last night, but in my heart, I'm here because I want to serve. And I realize, this is how I feed my family. So grace is, again, favor is not fair. Grace is something that we can offer each other in this concept of giving. I just want you to reflect, like, who could you reflect on this concept? Who could you serve this week? Like, who could you serve today? I mean, it's 7:00. So, maybe today you got somebody in your house you could probably serve right now, right? You probably got someone that you could offer grace to right now, today. That should be an everyday thing. Like, what can I do? How can I offer grace to someone today? What can I be grateful for today? These are the reflections that we come out of this space with. A family in need, a neighbor, a coworker, even yourself. Sometimes what's that song? Sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Sometimes you got to offer that grace to yourself. I had to offer grace to myself as I was feeling kind of uncomfortable, showering with bottled water, which is all we had. When I knew people didn't have water to drink. I couldn't give them my bottle at that point. There was no transportation. There was no way out. I was just grateful. And I was like, but I know what I can do. I got a whole bunch of good stuff. And by the way, we're collecting. We're going to be, here, let me put this. Okay, there is a post, which I should have given to my producer. It's been a very hectic day, so I'm not even going to pretend like I have it at the moment. But there is, watch us. Next week, I will definitely have the either videos or live between now and then, the general manager of one or both of these Hyatts, right? And this could be a nationwide thing, but all I can do is focus on this right now, help them with the logistics, and then make it available to anyone who wants to be a part of it. It is like they're going to be collecting funds, of course, and that already exists. And I'll put that on my social media with the link to Adafua's social media, because I'm really asking you guys to go. Again, if you can, identify that your donation is associated with me. I'm not looking for credit, but I did tell her that I would do this work, and that would be nice that we could see some impact of this time and energy. So this One Love Giving campaign, right? From gratitude to action. If you're grateful for the stuff that you got, and you got too much, because we all do, that's just kind of the American way, Then this One Love Giving campaign. I'm kind of calling it the Keeping It Real One Love Giving campaign. Do you like that? I have some documentation. The Keeping It Real One Love Giving campaign. And let me talk about this. How Hyatt has a fund for the employees affected by the hurricane. So there's a link. They're collecting the money. They're giving the money. So I'm not asking for money from anyone. But we got some stuff. Just like I got stuff. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to facilitate a process between the Hyatt in Montego Bay and the Hyatt right here, the general manager that I already know, who's blessed us in a few ways and who's been a blessing in Hawaii. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm in for the Jamaica thing. Let's go. So they're all doing their research. And the only thing we have to do is also, if anybody knows anybody at Costco, we need some bins. We need like about 200 bins, those big black yellow bins. I'm going to reach out to Costco tomorrow, but y'all got my email. Can you put my email up here, Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com? If anybody knows somebody at Costco or you work at Costco and you got a leader, again, I'm going to send them an email here. But these people need these bins. So if we're donating stuff and it's still raining there. So if you don't have a roof and somebody gives you some dry stuff, that dry stuff is going to be wet too. So we do want to give people some of those black and yellow bins. So when they leave, they're walking away with something that can keep some stuff dry, right? Clothes or papers or whatever toiletries. They need everything. The guy was like, when your house is destroyed, you need everything. And I got storage units that I will be grateful. I have a brand new carpet cleaner that I bought before I moved. Brand new, top of the line. I don't have any carpet to clean. I'm house sitting. So I would much rather gift that to the people of Jamaica so they can shampoo the mud and the whatever they need to do. Right? I'm just saying. Like, I'm talking stuff. They need everything. So all my clothes, I got a few things that I love. Everything else, by all means, you can have it. The sizes. How many of y'all got clothes that you're storing in your closet? This is the keeping it real part. Got clothes in your closet that you can't fit anymore. That's all I gotta go. When I get down, I'll just buy some more because that's how we do. We're American. I'll keep a few items, maybe 2 or 3 favorites, and then everything else can go. These people have nothing. So the concept of sharing and giving, there's already a relief fund, which I will definitely post on my social media, and I'll come back next week and we'll have that as well. But you can contribute gently used clothes, and it should be nice stuff: linens, towels, sheets, baby supplies. They do want financial donations. I'm not involved in that at all, but I am facilitating the stuff transition. And so we'll figure out what that looks like. But start thinking about it, start collecting it, start getting it ready, because when it's going to happen, we get some stuff over there before Thanksgiving for sure. For sure. Okay? So this is about partnership, accountability, and immediate impact. So anything you got, like I'm going to be giving decor. I have carpet that's rolled up that has never even been out of the thing. Well, think about it. If your rugs and floors and people ripping stuff up, all of it. I'm going to keep one. I can think of one rug that I purchased that I'm probably going to keep, but I have like 10. Again, like I had outdoor spaces and indoor spaces and, nice stuff. I have torches. Listen to this. This is Life House. Torches. I have a huge outdoor space, right? Torches. Those, I don't know, at least 15, 20 bucks each, maybe even more than that. But the tall torches that you put the citronella oil into, so they basically help with light and bugs. Oh my God, are they dealing with bugs right now? Because again, standing water, lots of flood waters are everywhere. So that's going to be awesome. And again, these are the few things that I was like, I really want to keep this. Nope, I don't need none of it. If I can gift it, by all means, that's what I'm doing. I got toiletries, hair products. Not that I used any because I didn't. I'm just saying stuff, all the stuff, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Looks like I'm running short on time, but I just wanted to mention this concept of giving back. So if you don't have extra funds, you got stuff. We all got stuff. You got stuff that people can use. So just stay with us. Email me, Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. Mr. Man, my producer, you can put my email there. If you're like, hey, I do have a storage unit that I've been paying for. Dr. Paul Jackson is the one who actually introduced me to this house sitting thing. And I'm in these luxury homes. Literally, this place is so big. This is no exaggeration. There is a Woodinville address and there is a Redmond address for the two sides. The first night I slept here, I literally couldn't find the bedroom. I slept in front of this 100 100-inch projector screen TV. It's a rough life, but I'm just saying. But literally, there's a roundabout in the house. I went down all the way down to the Redmond side, Woodinville side, and couldn't get it. So when I say blessed, this is my level of gratitude. Like pool, 2 hot tubs. I'm just saying, 5 acres of land, garden. It's just and the cutest little booties you'd ever want to be around. So, I got no complaints. I'm just grateful. So my level of gratitude for just the lifestyle that I get to live above, just saying, like, above my normal, that what my income would allow. I couldn't be happier. So this idea of living powerfully every day, those 3 G's, right? The concept of grace, gratitude, and giving. Just know that, like I said, I don't know how to be more grateful. Like I'm so grateful to be in a position to help collect. So I'm asking you all to start looking at your stuff, because next week when I come back, we're going to have the how, the when, and the where. You can expect by next week, we're going to have destinations. I don't know if it's going to be at Hyatt. I have a storage unit that I'm paying for. I'm going to work with, it's a Bell Red Storage. I'm going to see if I can get him to whatever. We're going to figure it out. Donate a U-Haul truck and be like, okay, let people in. I don't know. We haven't even figured out the logistics of it yet. Hyatt said that they could store some stuff and they would have a storage space. We just got to figure out the timeline and all of that, and the inventory. So it can't be crap. I'm just putting it out there in the universe. And we're gonna have an inventory form that'll be online, and each person will submit a Google Doc and be like, I have this, and whatever information they need for customs, we're gonna have you complete that. Like if it's like men's clothes and pants and count, like we need you to be, I'm a project manager, so it's gonna have to be very organized. So you can't just drop off a bunch of crap. It can't be that, right? Because we don't have people and resources to assess it. So part of your work is going to be, hey, here's an inventory of what I was able to deliver. And that's going to help you too, because you can write it off. Does that make sense? You will get to write it off. That's not my preference or plan. Okay, sorry, my TV just decided it wanted to come on again. Apparently I paused it for too long. Sorry. Okay. Let me see if I can find remote number 2. Sorry about that. Oh, right here.
Perfect. Sorry to say my house is a bit messy. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not expecting you.
Right. Okay. So let me finish. So living powerfully every day. This concept of resilience, faith, and excellence in all we do, that's who we are. That's what we're talking about today. Showing up in excellence, even in the storm, right? How we all were calm. We had faith. We had grace under pressure. That is beautiful. You can't control the wind. I like to say this all the time, but you can adjust your sails, right? You can't control where the wind is coming. But you can be like, hey, I'm going to go this way. I'm not going that way. I know that's what probably, someone wants to blow you. Someone comes and huffs and puffs and want to blow your house down. Just say no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. Right? But I don't. I'm not going with you on that. Like that's energy, negative energy coming your way. You don't have to accept it. So this metaphor of life and leadership, right? Choosing your response over your reaction. So bringing in quotes. Let me just, my 2 that I love the most. Maya Angelou. She said, I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. This is Maya Angelou's quote. I can be changed by what happens to me. Like, again, I was just changed by my experience in Jamaica. Amplified. I was always, grateful, but it definitely amplified my vision of what grace is, especially from other people, what gratitude really is from other people, my opportunity to give, right? I've never felt so free to give before, especially to people who are so loving and so that one love is real. Viktor Frankl. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. That's a quote from Viktor Frankl. So again, my reason for bringing these quotes in and these affirmations, so I'm gonna give you some affirmations here in a minute as well, and I gotta talk faster, is, it's about you and your transformation. So there's going to be a 2-minute reflection here. So you can journal this, you can say these affirmations, but I'm grateful for my storm because it revealed my strength. So when something bad has happened, be grateful for it. I'm grateful for my experience in Jamaica. It revealed my strength and my opportunity to give. It helped me to see what grace under pressure really is about. And it wasn't me. It was watching other people do it. Like, wow, I did well, but I wasn't the best of the best. There were people, I didn't lose my house. I came home to an extraordinary living situation. My roof is up. Are you with me? So it was what I witnessed. So I am changed by it. So I'm grateful for my storm because it revealed my strength. It revealed my opportunity. I'm committed to living powerfully, even in the midst of the storm. I'm committed to, these are the second affirmation. I'm committed to living powerfully, even in the midst of the storm, even in uncertainty. You don't have to have all the answers. That's the whole point. That's the whole grace of it all. That's the grace of it. Regardless of what's happening, I choose joy. I believe this is going to work out for my good. Positive intelligence. Every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. We talk about the how do you do that? But I am a vessel of grace and peace and service. The 3 G's: grace, gratitude, and giving. Those are my priorities. So as I close, we're moving from Thanksgiving to legacy. Gratitude must grow into giving, right? So you're grateful for what you have, and then the giving side is really, I've deepened my commitment to helping others from this Living Powerfully platform, community development. I'm always a giver, but this is like, wow. Storms don't destroy your purpose. They actually can reveal it. So when bad things are happening, you got to look and see, like, what is this going to reveal in me? So my closing inspiration to you, these last 3 words. We all have a divine assignment. And the world does not need perfection. It needs your presence. It just needs you to show up, do what you can. And if that is, I got some clothes in storage that I can give to some people. I got some stuff that I can give. I got some towels. I actually just asked someone, they said, I need towels and sheets. Wow. Y'all know you got some time. Come on. Challenge everyone to be living your legacy now. Be people of faith, people of action, and people of gratitude. Here's my final 3 quotes. I think I got time. Final 3 quotes. To serve is beautiful, but only if it's done with joy. That's by Pearl S. Buck. To serve really is beautiful, but it's really the joy in your heart. That's when it's really divine. And as we express, this is from John F. Kennedy. He said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. Basically, he said, it ain't what you say, is what you do. And I'm a ghetto girl, so I can say this. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's what John F. Kennedy just said. Don't talk about it, be about it. It's your actions that matter. So we're asking you to do some things, not major things. This is give from your surplus. I'm not saying give your last towel. I'm saying give your surplus. And then my final words of Thanksgiving is let this be the miracle in someone else's storm. Let each of us be the miracle in someone else's storm. Let's gather so much wonderful stuff that they have to rent a second plane. And by the way, they have, for relief planes, they've waived the fees, the landing fees. Somebody's still got to pay for something. Hyatt is working the deals out. So you don't have to. We're just asking you to give your stuff, and we're going to coordinate and help us to, archive it or document what it is. And if that's too much for you, you're like, I just got stuff, then hopefully there's less of that. But we'll do what we can do. We'll take the stuff and we'll figure it out, right? If you're like, here's some clothes, here's some this, we'll figure it out, right? But we ideally want you to do it in a way that allows us to to get it to them immediately, because it does have to be inventoried and put the customs in that way. So let's be the miracle in someone else's storm. Let's live powerfully. Let's give generously. And remember, we really, truly are better together. I think that's my time, y'all. Do I have any announcements? I think I do. Oh, I do. I have 2 announcements. Oh, no announcements. Oh, little Ola's having a birthday today. So next we have Midnight Sports. A happy birthday. And I still got to do some work with you guys. I'm offering you my free AI services. So hook us up, producer. I don't even have the email addresses, but I love y'all. And remember, truly, right now is your time. Focus on grace, gratitude, and giving. More to come. See you next week. Thanks.